everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Important Shit podcast. This is our very first episode, but definitely not our first video that we've been making. So if you're familiar with my YouTube channel, I have been talking about personal finance and Tesla on there already. So we're just going to transition and also do a podcast, so you can find us on Spotify, and you can also watch us as well on YouTube still. So we'll still be posting these videos there. As most of you know, Tom is usually my camera guy, and he is also my husband, and so I will be adding him now to our videos. So
hi guys.
I'm excited to not be alone in these videos and not feel like I'm like talking to myself. So it'll be nice to have him here and just like add a new perspective. But anyways, I am Carter Jones, and I will be co-hosting it with Tom. And I guess we'll just like give a brief intro as to who we are, like what we do, and like why we're talking about this. So the first thing too, I would say the Important Shit podcast was created because Tom and I like to talk about these topics together all the time. Like we want to talk about finance, and we want to talk about just like business and entrepreneurship, and we haven't really had an outlet to do that with a lot of our like close friends, and so we really enjoy talking about it, but we haven't really met too many other people who love talking about it with us. So we wanted to start this podcast so that we could talk about these topics, these what we call important topics, on our podcast, and then also have you guys to help us like create a conversation around it. Because we're definitely not experts, and we just find these topics really fascinating, and we like to talk about them. So we'll be pulling topics from Reddit, we'll be pulling them from my email. So if you want to ask a question that we can answer on the show, feel free to email askcarterquestions@gmail.com, and we will then answer it during the show. So today we'll mix it up a little bit with some questions from all over the place.
So my name's Tom. I work for a healthcare company in sales. Basically, I'm an outside salesman, just drive around all day. I have an undergraduate degree in public relations and a minor in business administration, and then I have my master's degree in entrepreneurship, actually.
Yeah. And then I am the director of merchandising and design for a textile company, and my background is in 3D virtual prototyping, specifically in soft goods such as knitting and weaving, which is a very niche industry, and I guess that technology has helped me grow to the position I am today because I am in such a niche industry. But my background is in fashion and textile design, and then I also have a master's in entrepreneurship. So Tom and I got our masters together actually, which was fun, and I don't think he ever thought he was going to get his master's.
Definitely
but
not.
I might have pushed that one just a little bit, but anyways,
it was worth it.
Yeah. So we both are in very different industries. I'd say Tom and I are complete opposites in a lot of ways. Like I am definitely the a different
go-getter.
Yeah, the go-getter personality, the one that's like never satisfied, always like trying to hit goals. And then Tom's a little bit more realistic
Definitely.
in his views, and he finds like happiness in other things other than just his job. Is that right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in family and relationships and
right, more so than the career side of things, I guess.
Yeah, so I think you'll find like our perspectives to not match up usually. I think we somewhat agree, but there's also a lot of differences in where we're in our perspectives too.
Definitely. Okay, so the first question we want to cover is one that was emailed to us, and we've seen it on a lot of comments on YouTube. But it's, do you regret buying a Tesla? It's a big question.
No. I really don't regret buying our Tesla. I love that car. I think we both love that car.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, that car was great. It just was great for that part of our life. And I would definitely get one again. I think that's where I'm at. But I don't regret it. I mean, obviously it's brought us where we are today, talking to you guys more about Tesla, more about tech and finance. And I think that it was just like a really great stepping stone for us.
Definitely. I mean, it was the most interesting car that I've ever owned, for sure. I mean, it's just totally different from anything else that you're ever going to drive. Just like the screen being massive and not having anything else to look at while you're driving is just such a big change. And it being electric, you know.
Yeah. So I think, no, we don't regret buying our Tesla. I think now, though, would we repurchase a Tesla is, yes, we would, but I think that the Tesla we're looking for doesn't exist yet, or maybe we just like don't know exactly what we need, because we got the Model 3. I think we both liked it because it was super sporty, and it felt like a little sports car. It drove so fast, and it was just fun. It was like a fun car for us. But now with expecting a baby, we didn't think that that was a great car for a child.
Yeah, I think like a full-size sedan would be okay, but the fact that it's a compact sedan, like everything's smaller. It's the same size as like a Honda Civic.
Well, I don't even think that, I mean, that wouldn't even be okay, because if we thought that was okay, then we would have went to the Model Y. And we're not, because we also are worried it's too small.
Right, the space was the biggest thing, I think.
Yeah, so I think that the space in the Model Y is definitely more than the 3, but we're just worried, is it enough space for us? Because we do have 2 dogs too.
Right.
And we usually take them with us when we go places. So that's confusing, because we like the Model Y, but we've obviously never had a child before. So we don't know how much space they're going to take and how much stuff we're going to have and how much we're really going to be taking our dogs with our kid, or whether or not we're just going to just keep the dogs at home. Like, we just don't know. So it's really hard for us to make some kind of decision on, hey, we're going to buy a Model Y when we don't really know what we need yet for our family.
I think like we probably could have gotten over some of that stuff with the size if the range was like tremendously better.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that the Model Y is only like 230 miles of range. You know, that's the biggest thing like that I learned when we got a Tesla, was that the range that they say online isn't what you're going to get ever.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the most you really want to charge it to is 90%. But really in most day-to-days, you only want to go 80 to 85%. So you know, if the range is 350 like our Model 3 was, and you take 20% off of that, you know, you're already below 300 miles.
Yeah.
Right? And then if you drive on the highway a lot, you're only going to get like 90% of those miles anyway, which we drive on the highway pretty much everywhere, like some street driving, but most of it's highway anyway. So you need the range to be almost like double what it is now for it to equate to what gas cars are getting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and Tom can't use it for work because he needs more mileage. So it would be actually a perfect car for him if the mileage was, I don't know, like, what do you think, 500 miles?
I'd say if it was 450 even, I can make it work. But it's like the fact that it's so close to that and it's just not close enough just kind of kills it for me. Because I drive probably like 250 to 300 miles each time like I have to drive for my job. So I just, like, I can't have, you know, 280 miles of range and then, you know, lose 10% on the highway and then, you know, be sitting there for an hour charging, you know, on top of all the driving that I already do for work anyway. So it just wasn't realistic.
Yeah. And then I also don't think we would go to the Model X, even though I would love that car, because it's just so expensive. $100,000, I just don't think that we can justify at this point in our life $100,000 car.
Yeah, no way. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
No, it's just silly, honestly, for us to spend that kind of money. The only time, though, I would consider it, so if you ever see our channel get a Model X, is probably because we are now a business and we could write it off in taxes.
Right.
That's the only great thing about the Model X, and so if that's the case, then I think that that would be a reasonable option. But buying it personally, just us two, I mean, space-wise, I think it is correct, but then also price-wise, it's just too astronomical.
And I don't even think it's that much bigger than the Model Y anyway, to make it worth, you know, double the price, basically.
No.
I don't think it makes sense.
I don't think the value's there.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think it's a cool car, but would I spend that much money on it? I don't think we could bring ourselves to do that.
I don't think so. Not right now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, no, we don't regret the Tesla. If we weren't having a child, then we probably would have kept it, to be honest. We both really liked it. But it just ended up that the market was going to give us more money if we sold it, and because of just the way things are right now. So
yeah, we couldn't say no to that. I mean, $4,000 extra, what we paid for it.
Yeah, so I mean, we made money on it, and it just seemed like everything was pointing us in the direction of just sell it. So that's what we did, and we're gonna wait and see what our needs are once we have baby.